Bonjour, I'm Jean Lalonde, the developer of Quick Access Popup. Welcome to this bit-by-bit video about the In the Works menu, the menu that contains your recent, your frequent, your current files and windows. So we'll see what is the content of this menu. We'll see the frequent items database that is used to collect the information and build the frequent items menu. We'll see some options about that and how you could flush the database if you need to do it. And in the end, we'll see how you can get more help on the quickaccesspopup.com website. So let's go to the desktop. So you have this menu here in the works that appears at the top of your main menu by default if you run Quick Access Popup version 9.2 or more recent. If you upgraded to Quick Access Popup version 9.2 or more recent, then the In the Works menu was added to your existing menu, but at the end. So it was here, and of course you can go in the settings to move it or display it the way you prefer. So by default it's here with 5 items in this menu. One that contains your frequent folders, so the folders that has been used most frequently on your system since Quick Access Popup is collecting the information. Of course, at the beginning the menu will be empty, and you will have a note at the end telling you that the menu will improve as you use Quick Access Popup. Same thing for the frequent files. Here normally there would be 10 of them. Here we have only 4 because I haven't used Quick Access Popup enough in this demo environment that I'm using here. So there's this note here that the frequent files menu will improve as you use Quick Access Popup. Thirdly, we have the recent folders and the recent files. So these folders and files are those that you use most recently. It comes from special folders in Windows that collect all the activity you do on your computer for folders and files. So we'll see from where it comes in a minute. And Quick Access Popup is showing here the 10 most recent and the 10 folders and the 10 most recent files. And finally, there's the current windows. Oh yeah, I didn't mention that. Of course, when you see it here, what you can do is just click it and it will open the recent or the frequent folder in the Windows Explorer. It's a little different if you go in the current Windows menu here. Instead of opening the, as it would do with these 4 first menus, here the current Windows, what it will do, it will switch you to an existing folder that is currently open or an existing window application that is currently running on your system. So for example, let me start Notepad here just to add a new application here. So in the works, in current Windows, I'll now have the Notepad that has been added here. So I could switch to the existing window that shows my PowerPoint file here. So it didn't create a new window, it just switched to this window. If I want to switch to Notepad, I can go here to current Windows Notepad, and it will bring the Notepad window to the front of my desktop. So that's the content of this In the Works menu. Now the question is, from where come the information? It comes from 2 sources. First, Quick Access Popup will remember what you use in the menu and will add every usage you do from this menu to the database, so it will know what you use most frequently from the menu. But the main source is special windows in a special folder in Windows that is called the Recent Items folder. And to show it to you, I will just add it here to my menu. I will add special folders. This special folder is in the Power User section and it's called Recent Items. Add it, also save it. So here it will open a special folder that is maintained by Windows, where you can see every file and folders that were opened recently. I'm not sure how much time or how many items will be recorded by Windows, but it holds normally more than 100, maybe between 100 and 200 items here, and we see it in this Windows Explorer menu, sorted by name or sorted by date modify if you wish. But in Quick Access Popup, what it can do is show you those that has been added most recently to the recent items, so you can really know that is what I use most recently. For example, I use the recent folder here. I open the program file, so that's recording really what's the most frequent item. Same thing for the files. But to collect the information about and to build the menu about the frequent folders and frequent files, Quick Access Popup is visiting regularly this folder and is adding anything new that is added to it. And when something is added again a day later or a few sometime after, it will also remember that it's been added to this folder how many times. So that's the way Quick Access Popup can make a menu, by showing you those that has been added most frequently to the recent items folder. There's an option that will make it very clear. I'll show it to you in a moment, where you can see the frequency index also for each items. So that's the source. Now the options that you can use to control the database. You go in the settings, you click the options button here. It will open the Quick Access Popup options. There's in the More tab a button named Frequent Items Database. You click on this, and here you have the options that you can control. First, you can disable the database if you don't want to use it, if you don't like your items to be collected. You can turn it off completely. If you keep it on, I must tell you that the data that is there is only for you. It is saved on your computer and it is for your private use. So there's nothing that would be sent to any server or anything like that. So it's not a web database. It's really a local database for your own usage. So when it's enabled, you can control the interval, so the collection interval at how many seconds or minutes Quick Access Popup will return to the frequent items folder to collect new information. The minimum value is 60 seconds. That's also the default value. You can keep it that way. If you prefer, you could change it to say Quick Access Popup will add the items maybe only at every 5 minutes. So you would change it here to 300 if you want it to be at every 5 minutes. But I suggest that you keep the default value. The second item, it depends on what you prefer. It's the number of days that are considered in the frequent menu. So here, the frequent folders that we see are the most frequently used folder in the last 30 days. Which makes no sense in my demo environment because I installed it just a few days ago. But if you use Quick Access Popup for a month or more, it will restrict the calculation of your frequent items to the last 30 days by default. You can reduce it if you want to know only what has been used frequently in the last week or in the last days. You could put 3 here, and when I save the options, it tells me that some options may need to reload Quick Access Popup, but that's not the case for this one. So here we have only 3 items now because we restricted the menu to only the last 3 days. So that's the effect of this option. So it depends if you want to have an all-time best or most frequently used, or only recently most frequently used items. So by default it is 30. I'll put it back here to 30. And also you can control the maximum size of the database. By default it is 3 megs. 3 megs should be enough to hold the information collected for the last 30 days. If whenever you want to raise it to 365 days to 1 year here, you may need to augment the size of the database because Quick Access Popup would not have enough space to save 1 year of information. But by default, 3 megs should be enough. And when the 3 megs the limit is reached, Quick Access Popup will delete the oldest items from its database. Lastly, we'll enable the Show Frequency Index option that will show the index in the settings and in the menu. So let's see how it goes. So here you now see in the settings window that besides some items there's a number. This number is the number of times that these items were found in the recent items folders, or that they were used using the Quick Access Popup menu. So we see program files here at 8, notepad at 8. So that's an index that shows the frequency of each of the items. It will also appear if you go inside the submenus. Let's go here. You have the same thing here in submenus with these two items having an index of 1. Also, if you open the recent items menu here, not the recent but the frequent folders and the frequent files, you will have beside each of the items the index, the frequency index for each of these items. So it goes from 14 here down to 2. Of course, if you use it for weeks, for months, the numbers will get much bigger, but still you will have here the biggest number first and going lower down to 10 items in this menu. Same thing for the frequent files. Here I have only 4 and from 5 to 2. Those with 1 will not appear in the menu. An item need to have at least an index of 2 to appear in the menu. And last option that we've seen that these menus were limited to 10 items. There's an option here under the menu tab where you can control the number of items in the frequent items and recent items menu. By default it is 10. You could augment it to 25 if you prefer to have a longer menu, or lower it if you prefer also, so it depends on you. So it's here under the menu tab in the options of Quick Access Pop-up. So that's it. Lastly, I will just show you where you can get more information or review the information I just told you on Quick Access Pop-up website. So you click here and you have the knowledge base menu here with lots of information. If you want to have direct access to information about the In the Works menu, you just have to type In the Works in the search box here, and you will get to this page about the In the Works menu, frequent, recent, and current windows. You'll see also how the database works by clicking here. How can I control how the database works? You will have also more information here about these options that we've just seen. So I hope this helps. I thank you for your attention, and I hope to see you on Quick Access Pop-up website.